Hola mi gente, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna dive into some unexpected reads that I ended up really loving but do not normally go for. Today it's finally rainy, it's finally super cozy outside, but I'm still drinking some boba today. So let's pop this in. To start with is A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I have a lot of thoughts on this book and on this series actually, so I might make a video where I dive a little bit more into it because I had some very strong feelings about it, and when I read some reviews it turns out a lot of people had strong reviews about it. Strong feelings about it, I mean. When I posted it on my Bookstagram, I had some people message me saying, yeah, did you finish this series? It's just there's a lot in there, but for the sake of this video we're going to talk about the very first one because this is the one I loved. I absolutely love this and I ate this up. So A Curse So Dark and Lonely is actually a retelling, and the reason this book made it on this list in this video is because I don't normally read retellings. At least that's what I told myself. I think on this stack alone I have 2 retellings. I saw this book at a local indie bookshop and it was on sale for $8, and when I read through it I was like, okay, you know what, I think I'm down for this. So in this book, Harper lives in Washington, D.C. and is whisked away by some creepy stranger who she sees stealing another girl. You know, she tries to stop this weird stranger trying to kidnap this girl and ends up getting kidnapped herself by accident and gets whisked away to this other realm where other main character lives. His name is Ren. At least I think it's Ren, excuse my pronunciation. We're gonna go with it. So that's another element of a fantasy book I don't normally go for. I don't really love urban fantasy, which again was broken because I have another book in this pile that is urban fantasy, but we'll get there. I don't think I even know myself. So Ren is basically the beast of this story. He is cursed, and his curse is what made this book really interesting to me. In Beauty and the Beast, we all know that he's cursed to his castle as a beast until someone falls in love with him. In this book, it's very similar. He's cursed to become a monster. Until he gets someone to fall in love with him, he will continue to cycle through and become a monster at the end of each season. The Enchantress gives him kind of like a buddy. His very loyal guardsman, Gray, has a temporary magical power to go and find Ren a girl each season and bring her back. He has no more than 1 hour, I think, no more, no less than an hour to travel to different realms and back. Ren remains 18. Gray also remains the same age, which I think is 18 or 19. Ren has tried for, I guess, centuries. The book doesn't really tell you how long this curse has been lasting, and he just keeps failing. Every time he fails, his castle, everything in it, reset, and they start the cycle again. When Harper is whisked away, she's so stubborn, she's so strong-headed, and she just wants to go back home because back home Harper's family is, which is a really bad crowd that her dad put them in, and she just needs to go back and make sure that her brother is safe, her older brother who's trying to handle those bad guys, and her mother who is bedridden and has an illness that she's gonna pass away, and they know she's gonna pass away, and she doesn't want her mom to die while she's gone and stuck in this realm. But some key points I love from this book, other than those like different twists on the curse, I love Gray's character. I think if you love a character that is morally gray but also is that tough guy that has a warm spot for our MC, this, you know, I think you'll really enjoy this read and this book. I think I ended up shipping them a lot harder than I shipped Ren and Harper. That's again a whole other topic. Another thing I really loved about this book was there were actually added elements. So it's not just about the curse. The story doesn't take place just in this castle where Harper is stuck. Ren's kingdom, because he's been absent for so long and his whole family is dead, whole other part of the story. His kingdom is hungry, his kingdom is breaking, his kingdom is falling. And Harper really has a heart for Ren's people, even though she doesn't belong to that realm. She wants to help. And Ren starts to see this and really admire Harper for it, but also puts him in a really awful position because it's his fault that the kingdom is dying, right? They kind of team up to restore this kingdom, but there's just a lot of obstacles there, right? Because no one knows the king is actually dead. No one knows that Ren is actually cursed. There are neighboring kingdoms that want to take over Emberfall, and Ren didn't know that a lot of his soldiers posted out of the castle had been attacked and killed, and nothing was ever done. So all these other kingdoms think it's okay to kind of just come through and take over their land. It was a really good read. I really recommend the first book. We'll get into the rest of that later. For a retelling, it's really different. There's a lot of disability representation in this book as well, and I like the mix of an urban setting with a realm setting. I especially like when Harper has these thoughts that I think we would all have if we were thrown back into some fantasy world where deodorant doesn't exist. Harper is very clear at making that obvious, like, I wish I had a sports bra right now instead of this really tight corset, or yeah, I really do wish deodorant existed right now when there's a bunch of guardsmen training and it's just gross. Boba Break. The second book I have on this list was actually recommended by a friend who wasn't sure if I'd like it or not, but shout out to her because I loved it. The name of the book is This Vicious Race. I love this book so much that I actually had to hunt down the Fairy Loot edition. It is so beautiful. I have it up on my shelf. This is a special edition of Barnes & Nobles. I think what makes it different is it has the little design on the inside, and then it has a lemon. I think just the cover itself, the original cover, is actually really beautiful. I love to see a character that's also, you know, a little brown. It's hard to explain this book to you. I think I do read fantasy books that have to do with kingdoms and war and fighting and all that stuff, but I don't normally go for a book that feels more like lore-ish. This book is set kind of like in Italy. It's not actually Italy, but it's set in a world that's very much like Italy. I'm also not big on picking up romance, at least that's what I thought, but I realized more and more I'm just proving myself all wrong today in this video, because what did I literally said in the beginning of this video, these are unexpected reads and things I don't normally go for, so I should just stop repeating that. This book focuses on the romance between the main character, Alessa. So this book is a love story between Alessa and Dante. The story really focuses on Alessa. In this story, there are islands, and each island has something called a finestra, which actually means window in Italian. So the finestra is meant to amplify and use the gifting of a fonte. I don't remember what fonte stands for anymore. I want to say fountain because my Spanish says fountain, but I'm not really sure. I don't remember. So fontes on the island have special gifts and elements that the finestra can harness and amplify and use. So the reason this dynamic exists is because the fonte and finestra are meant to fight off all these flying demons that come to devour their island. This event is called Divorando. In Divorando, there are all of these demons that come raining down and basically murder everything, take everything, want to destroy everything. And the Finestra is meant to fight these off with their army, but really it's her power and the harnessing of the power of her fonte that's going to help them save everything. In Alessa's case, she has killed 3 of her fonte. No, they're supposed to be her partner for life as well. So she ended up killing all of them. She doesn't know how to harness her power. She doesn't know how to control that thing inside of her that wants to take the power of her fonte without killing them. Divorando is coming. Her people are losing faith in her. They don't know what's going on. They think she's going to be the end of their island, and she really needs to find a fonte. However, someone within her own palace tries to assassinate her because there are rumors that say she's not really the real Finestra, that she was sent here by the evil god Grollo, who actually sends these evil demons to come and devour everything. So they think he's the one that sent her, and that if they kill her, another Finestra will rise up, the true Finestra, and actually you know, save their island and everything. Because she had people try to murder her, she goes and tries to hire someone herself, someone that only works for her, not for the palace, not for the people, not for the priest or anything. And that's where she finds our beloved Dante. Dante and her work together. He's just trying to keep her alive long enough for Divorando. But of course, there's more to that. There's more to Dante than just being this criminal bodyguard. The main theme of this book is actually really beautiful. I don't even want to say what the real theme is, because if you end up reading it, I don't want that to be taken from you. The author did a really beautiful job of making me care about characters I originally did not care for. The ending was spectacular. I think if this were a movie, it could be shot so beautifully and just have the best takes to really bring certain scenes in this book to life. It's also a little steamy. I don't think I've ever read a book that's sincerely steamy, but there was some chapters in the book that I was like, okay, we're doing this today. I mean, if you read ACOTAR, whatever, this is child's play, but for me, it was the slow burn. I realized I really enjoyed that slow burn, and I especially enjoyed the banter between Dante and Alessa. Let me know if you like it, if you've read it, or if you want to read it. I still have so much tea left because I'm out here just talking about all of the books. Thank you so much for joining me here, for listening to all the ramble. Next time, bring your favorite drink. Let me know if you've read any of these or if you want to after this video, and keep reading.